Okay, so in this video we're going to go over how to create a new schedule for the cycle. So basically each cycle runs from the 10th of one month to the 10th of the next, and we want to on the 10th or around the 10th, you want to refresh it, copy it, create a new one, duplicate it, and then clear out all of the old dates and put in the new ones while keeping this one here. So we're gonna do that. So first thing we're gonna do is we need to duplicate the schedule. So what we do is go top right and we go out to our list of sheets, and our top one here is our embedded monthly schedule. So what you want to do is the top on those three dots over here, and you want to click duplicate base. And now you get this little thing pop up. What you want to do, you want to clear out that name and put billing December 24. So this one was for December. So whatever month has just passed, you want to have a billing for that month and that year. We leave these checked, leave them on, and we click duplicate base. And that will create a copy of the base. Cool, so that's done. So now you always want to click open to go in it, and you can have a look. And what we've done, basically, we've just got a perfect copy. I'll just get rid of this. We've got a perfect copy of our embedded schedule. So we'll go back to home, and you can see we've got both of ours here, the schedule and then our one for last month. And what we're going to do in the top right, I usually go customize appearance, and I will change that to like a light green, so just to differentiate it. So all of the old billing ones are in light green, so yeah, just so we know what's what. Cool. So now with this billing one, we leave this one, don't have to do anything else with it. Any more results that we don't have for this month, so for example, I'm waiting for the trains reads, and this Karaya one, because it's on the 10th, that means it's a part of the December reads. Actually, no, sorry. That should be the 11th, so I'm going to get rid of that. We don't want to add that, so we just leave that one out. It should be later, sorry. So we'll bill it with the next one, and I might adjust that. I think we already have. Yeah, because it says this one's every 2 months. So I usually don't schedule anything for the 10th because it can get a little confusing. So what I'll do, I'll just, forget that. I'll just, I'll deal with that later. So just forget that. But yeah, so if anything else comes in, so if the trains comes in, you want to make sure you do it in this one and not in the this one over here, the one that we've copied. So this one, because this will now be our next month one, our current month, the current one that we'll work on. So our Karaya one will add into this one here, and we won't make it a part of our December 2024 one. But yeah, if we were to get any, we do that. That's why you need to make sure before you copy anything, I should say this first, make sure everything's up to date. But any changes that you want to make, just do it in this billing one. Aside from that, you don't need it anymore. So we can just close this. And now we are going to exclusively work on this list here. Okay. So first thing we do off the top here, we go to sites. And we go to new month date changing in our list here. And if we have a look here, we have currently reading is always ticked, and we need to also have our read frequency selected. And make sure what we're going to do is we're going to go through each of these one at a time, and change the dates. So we're going to refresh it basically, and create a new schedule. So first one we're going to do is our quarterly. Start with quarterly because they're the least amount of sites on that one. We have here grouped into future date and grouped into past date. So this is ones that have already been done, and this is in the future. So what we'll do, anything here in the past date, what we need to do is, and I'm going to actually move this over here so that makes it a little easier. So anything, we have a look at these two columns here, our previous read date and our actual read date. So our actual read date is the date that we put in when we finish processing the results for that sheet, for those, for that particular site. That's where we get that from. So what we want to do is anything with a date in it, I will highlight, Control C, and I will go into my previous read and I will Control V. And I just copy the actual read date across to our previous read date in this column. And of course, it's only for this past date section. So here we have this one, copy and paste. Oh, sorry, that was the schedule date. Forget that. What did I do? Okay, let's start again. Why does that keep resetting? It needs to go here. Stay there. Control C, Control V. And take that one, Control C, Control V. Yep, easy. For this one, now anything that's left blank, I will kind of put it in now. Forget about this one. And I will go, it's good to see this so you can do it manually. But yeah, sometimes, because obviously the trains, I don't have the results yet. So I can't add anything in. But I know that it will be done in the next few days. So for example, today's the 13th of January. So I'm just going to say that it was done on around the 14th. Let's pretend it's done tomorrow. So I'll go 1, 2, 3, because it's quarterly, every 3 months. And I'll just put on the 14th that it's going to be completed. Oh no, today is the 14th. Well, it's 12:30 in the morning. So still feels like the 13th to me. Anyway, yeah, so anything with a blank, just put in when you think it'll be done roughly, probably like, the date that you kind of flip it over. And then that's it. So once you've got all your previous dates in, actually, do I need to? No, I don't need to do that. Yeah, once you've got all your actual read dates in your previous updated from here, you can then, now we can change our schedule dates. So our schedule date is what dictates when we read the site. What we do is over here, you usually will have a requested read date. And this is the day of the month that the client would like us to read, ideally. So with this one, it's the 14th. And because it's quarterly, it's every 3 months. So I will double click on this and I'll go 1, 2, 3 months. Make sure I remember. Sometimes it gets tricky because you'll be at the end of the month. You're not sure if it's before or after the end of the month, but just keep an eye on, when that schedule date is. So you go 1, 2, 3, and I want the 14th of March. That's a Friday, so that works out fine. So we're just going to click the Friday, and then you'll see that it moves up to our future date section. Yep. So we'll do the same with this one. Double click and go 1, 2, 3. So it's in March around the 28th-ish. So I'll just put the 28th. City trains. So these ones are all scheduled for the same date. So we're going to start them all on the first 3 months from January. So 1, 2, 3. So that's April, and because we've got a 1, April 1st, April Fools. Copy that. Copy the 1st to the 4th. Highlight these. Control V, and that will change all of them. And that's it. And so that's our quarterly ones done. All in the future. And now you can move on to the next one. So now we'll do the bi-monthly ones. So same thing. Everything that we have an actual read for, we'll copy all the way down. Control C and Control V. Cool. So that's all updated there. Now for these two, you'll notice that I was talking about Cryogas earlier, scheduled for the 10th. I'm going to change that to the 11th, so it's after the 10th. I don't like scheduling things for the 10th because it makes it icky. And you're supposed to be done on the 12th anyway, so let's make it on the 12th, shall we? Or the 13th. Let's just do that. Yeah, there you go, easy. So it's supposed to be done on the 12th. And you can see that because it's this month on the 13th, it's supposed to be done. We don't want to change the scheduled date. All right, because it's technically supposed to be read already, or it's going to be read in this cycle. So these ones do not need to change, okay? Since it's after the 10th of the month is when it's scheduled already, okay? So just keep that in mind. It can be very easy to flick it over, and then before you know it, you've messed up and you can't find it in your list, and then it doesn't get read. So just be careful of those ones when you've got these blankies here. So we copy this. So I've copied our actual reads because we've gotten all of them. We should be fine. Then we go into our schedule days and we have a look at each one. So we go, okay, Moorabbin is the 11th. So 1, 2, 11th of Feb. You also want to keep in mind that you might have public holidays. We'll deal with that because Australia Day is in January. So we'll be able to demonstrate that. 1, 2. Let's see. So we like them being read on the 15th. What we'll do is we'll schedule them. They usually like them after the 15th, so on the 17th. But I think it's okay if we schedule it for the 14th. These Energy Australia ones. But it really depends on what the schedule looks like in that month. Sometimes it'll be super hectic and busy. Other times it will be nice and calm and easy. So I'm going to schedule it for the 14th because February is a bit of a shorter month. So if we do it a bit earlier, it'll give them a bit more time to do it. So Control C while I'm got this 14th of the 2nd highlighted. And all of these are on the 15th. And these are, you can see these are kind of all the same here. You can see some of them are changed a little bit. I've adjusted these. I do fine tuning during the month depending on what John and Alan's. It is typically this is for John and Alan. I'll fine tune their schedule so I can send them exact dates. But most of the time, just to highlight the 15th when you're doing this lump schedule update, and it just makes it easy. And then after that, you can kind of edit it. Waterford Valley, this is a good one to look at. Now, Waterford Valley Lakes, they like to be read on the first Wednesday after the 15th of the month. And so in here we have specific read dates for these. So in this instance, it's going to be February the 19th. So we're going to go forward and go February the 19th. And the reason for this is there's a lot of... firstly, they want the cold water and the electricity always read on the same day. Last time I had Alan doing both. I think John usually does the electricity, and I like John doing the electricity because he does it in a nice way. And it's hard to do both on the same day. So I usually split that between the two of them. Also, initially with these mid-month sites, so these specific Energy Australia ones are mid-month sites. You can see here when we started, John, he isn't really able to bend. He's got a bit of a bad back, or leg or something, or hip. Can't remember. It's probably all of it's gone away. But cold water is very difficult for him, and gas. That's why he doesn't do gas anymore. But it's bad. So he sticks with the electricity, and Alan will typically do the cold water stuff. So we'll usually split that between the two of them. Anyway, I'm getting sidetracked. But we'll go into that in more depth later. But with these mid-month sites, specifically this one, it needs to be done on the Wednesday because the retirement village tell the residents to open their garages on that day. A lot of the meters are inside the garages, and they'll have them open on that Wednesday that we've organized for them. So, yep, we'll just leave that as it is there. Let's see, Bundoora, 16th, 16th is Sunday. Yeah, so we're going to do that after because it's just one site. Lorimer, 19th, 1, 2. Oh, on a Wednesday. Okay, so we can already see an issue here. If we go to Google Maps, Waterford will probably take Waterford Valley Lakes will probably take John most, if not all, of the day. It's in Rowville. Lorimer Shopping Centre. That is 50 minutes away in Doreen. So what we'll probably do is we'll maneuver this around. I reckon what we'll do, because Bundoora and Lorimer are in this same kind of area, we're going to bring that forward to the 18th, and we're going to push that back to the 18th. And then usually we'll also have Anstey Square around the same day. So he can do all of those on the same day. Actually, what we might do, because Anstey's usually done on the 19th, should be able to push that to the 20th. So we'll push that to the 20th. Anstey Square's in Brunswick, so Brunswick, Bundoora, Lorimer, all on the same day. We can kind of put them all together. So we'll do it. Yeah, we'll run it like that. That looks nice. I like that. Northcote Plaza. Every 60 days. Now, I've worked this out with them because they complain we got way out of whack. This needs to be done on the 18th. Oh, that's annoying. Maybe we'll just have to move that to the 18th. Maybe John can do, not the 18th, that, to 18th here of February. So maybe we'll just, we'll go back on what we said and we'll just put all of that on the 18th like we had it. Northcote, Bundoora, Lorimer, maybe Brunswick as well on the 18th, and then that'll be nice and neat. So there's always something that happens and your best laid plans get wrecked. Cool. All right, now we'll do these two. Kingston Village, it's Tony, so he can just do that anytime. But yeah, the 30th. So 30th, when I put down 30th, that usually means the second last day of the month. So I'll make that the 27th, and then 31st, that is the last day of the month. So we'll put that the 28th there. Yep. Waverley Country Club, January. First week of January, that's usually done. You can see from the 6th. So we'll go 1, 2, and we'll put that on the 6th here. And these two are part of our current schedule. So we just leave these as is. All right, beautiful. So now we'll do our monthly ones. Now the majority of our sites are monthly. There were 36 bi-monthly. There's 138 monthly. Yeah, so what I tend to do is I go up here and I will add another filter. The first filter I'll add is the state. And so I'll do it one state at a time. So firstly, let's do ACT. Same as before. You can see it's still grouped by past date, but yeah. Control C copy, Control V paste. And we're going to change the schedule days to 24th or the 25th. So most of these monthly ones, we start on the 25th or we start on the 1st. I kind of move it around depending. I like to give a little more notice, or a few more days than less, to give them time to read it. So I'm going to put these both for the 24th. And that's it. Yeah, I'll just make them both on the 24th, and that should be fine. I'll change that to 24th as well. Just gives us an extra day in hand. Okay, I'll do WA. It's only one site we read in WA. Copy, paste. And so this is a Clean Peak Energy site. They like them done in the last week or before the end of the month. So I'm going to put that the 24th as well. Also, if you recall, we've got a public holiday here. So we technically should, in general, 1, 2, 3, 4, this doesn't count, 5. So this would be our normal starting date. So we could probably pull it back by one more. Kringyip is a big site. So I'll give them an extra day on there. I'll leave Canberra one as it is because they're two small sites and they should have the rest of the week. That'll be fine. South Australia, another single site. So we're going to copy and paste. And they like to do that. That's usually scheduled for the final day of the month. So I'll just put that as the final day of the month there. Okay. Now let's do Queensland. Now Queensland is, we've got North Queensland and we've got South Queensland. And what we'll do is we'll add another filter and we'll add a reader as well. And the first one we'll do is Matt Ballantyne. So Matthew Ballantyne's a supervisor up in Cairns. We've got 5 Cairns sites that we do monthly. Day Surgery, DFO, El Palazzo, Imagine Drift, and Atherton. So what we're going to do, we're going to actual read, copy our actual read to the previous, and then we're going to kind of do them one at a time. So Cairns Day Surgery, the 25th. So we'll make that the 24th. Same with this one. The reason they were so early last time was because he had leave. But it should be right to get back on track this month. El Palazzo, around the second last day of the month, something like that. Well, let's see. It's a public holiday. What I'll do, I'll put it on the 28th, just to give him a bit more time to do it. And then Atherton, that was done on the 8th, so not even a week ago. Or the 10th actually. So it's usually done around the 8th. We schedule it for. So I'll put it on the 7th, and then he can do it on the 7th, or he can do it 10th. I think it's due on the 12th, so a little more time is probably a bit better for him. And that's Matt. Next one we'll do is, well, Jason I think is the only one. Jason's just a lone soldier up in Pialba. I think we pay him with gift cards. So we'll just do that here, just to make it easier. So copy that across. Always on the 19th. Sunday's the 19th, so we'll make it the 20th. Sometimes he does like to work on weekends, but I'll just put it the 20th anyway. So that's good the way it is there. Jonathan and Jack. Okay. Let's do Jack. Jack's a bit easier, less sides. Now Jack, okay. Then Jack lives in northern Brisbane. And we have these 2 sites here which are in Brisbane, and we have these 2 sites which are on the Gold Coast. And what will typically happen is we will send him down to do these over. These take 2 days to do. And so we need to send him down on a time where he can get a hotel, because it's a freaking long drive. So we have to book a hotel for him. So that means that you can't put it one on a Friday and one on a Monday, or one on a public, in between a public holiday, or either side of a public holiday. You got to have them 2 days, one after the other. So we'll fix up the previous and actual. Always make sure you're doing the right columns here. So these are 3 Clean Peak Energy sites. Again, Clean Peak Energy sites, they love being read in the last week of the month. Unfortunately, this Stockland site, they always want it read on the 1st of the month. So let's have a look at how our dates look. And of course, we're going to have issues because Pacific Fair, that's the Friday. They're going to want that here, and Stockland are going to want theirs on the 1st, which is going to be a bit of a pain. So what we'll do, we'll put Pacific Fair on the 30th, and we'll do Stockland on the 31st just for this month. And then that one on the 31st. And then to group them together, these 2 are always done basically the day before, or the 2 days before, over 2 days. So 1, 2, back from when we start Pacific Fair. So we'll start them on the 28th. And he can start them. This is literally, these two buildings are next to each other. You know, look at them like Eagle Street. So the schedule would be Riverside and Eagle, and then Pacific Fair, Burleigh Heads, because Pacific Fair takes a day and a bit. And that will work out well with Australia Day being here. We'll just have to book him a hotel for these dates. Now, our last one, I believe, is Jonathan. Now, I can get rid of this. This doesn't need to be done on a Wednesday anymore. And I don't even need to do it because they're all here. So, we'll move these over. Okay. And the way I've got them kind of ordered is roughly the way you want them, in the order you want them read, kind of. We'll do, now Newmarket, they like to be read on the 25th, but I have it on the 21st so that it's 4th, so that it's prioritized. But again, we've got Australia Day, so these ones we can start probably before the end of the month. So I might do, okay, what I like to do, I'll start at North Lakes. North Lakes, they like to, actually that needs to be changed to the 31st. They like to do North Lakes on the last day of the month. Always on the last day of the month. So that'll be on the 31st. Then pretty much everything kind of after that. Let's see. Started here and we'll go 23rd to 24th. I want them done by here. So I think the 24th is fine. He should have enough days to do these. So we'll schedule these all for the 24th. All right, now we'll need a filter so that we can just see what his ones look like. All right, so we'll schedule these for the 24th, because what that does is, if we do it on the 24th, that gives him 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days to read them. Plenty of time. And then these ones will start, let's say around the 29th, 2 days before the end of the month. I think that's fine. There's no set date really on these. You can kind of do them in and around the end of the month. And that gives him, enough time to, from the 29th, the following week is the 5th. And I think the 5th is probably about as late as you want it. You could push it to the 7th, but I'd rather everything be done by the 5th, by Jonathan. So that gives them enough time in hand. And you can always make it, I wouldn't go any earlier than that, than the 23rd, unless it's a short month like February, or if it's December where we got a lot of, or Easter, like a lot of public holidays, And here we do have one, so we've pushed it back a bit. And this one we've kind of done it so that roughly a week later is the 5th. So that's good. With Jack and Jonathan, and also Des, I think it is, in New South Wales, they all work under Martin Graham, and I email Martin every month. I just email him to give him a idea of schedule, so that he can book it that time in for them. I will do it pretty much as soon as I've done. I'll get the old one. As soon as I've done this schedule. I'll show you here. So I'll usually be like, "Hi Martin, was just wanting to work out some dates for the reads for this month. I've spoken to Jack and he's wanting to decide." This is because Jack was out potentially, but he could drive. And what I'll do is I'll show you so you can see it. I just say, "Can you get Riverside, Eagle and Riverside on here, then Pacific Burleigh Heads on here?" For 580 George Street, any day between here. That should be December. And then for Jonathan, I'll do a table, and I'll kind of make up a table for that. So we'll do now, because we've done all of Queensland, I think is done. Yep. We'll move to New South Wales, and we'll do Des, because Des does 580. And we'll kind of keep it all encompassed in that. It's only one site, so I would just do it around the 25th. So for this, because of the public holiday, the 24th. And now what we have is, I'll just get rid of that quickly. Let's get Jack, and we'll go Jonathan. I'll just quickly group them by reader so you can see what I'm looking at. Group by reader. There we go. And we'll put an email together. So Martin, he's on leave. He'll be back Monday the 20th of January. Any urgent inquiries, contact Jason Boyd. So I'm gonna put Jason Boyd into this email. Hi Martin. Martin/Jason was just wanting to work out some dates for the reads this month. Get rid of this. For Jack, could he get on the, and for Jack we did on the 28th/29th January. Then Pacific Fair and Burleigh Heads on the 30th/31st January. I'm probably going to mess up that. I always miss one date on here. Friday George Street, any day between here and here in January. 25th to the, what do we have? Between the 24th to the 31st. So let's do 24th to the 31st January. Make this nice and small and cute. For Jonathan, see below list. Okay, so let's make a little table like we did before. We've done Des, we've done Jack, because we've got those dates there. Where do we have up our email and our little, so we'll put this, you know what we can do? We can just go, we'll copy this. Our start dates, so these are our start dates here. And then our due dates, which we'll make up as we go along. Start date. And then I'll do some notes as well. So you can kind of see what we've done here. I can't minimize this, it's annoying. I'll just lift it up a little bit. Yeah, lift it up a little bit. Zoom back in. All right, hopefully you can see that. So we've got our start dates from here. And what we're going to do is we're going to kind of deduce our due dates. So the 24th we said because we thought a week from there is the 31st. So we're going to make, Newmarket has to be read on the 24th. So we're going to see Newmarket, and you can see that in our little email over here, complete between here and here. I'm just going to say must complete on 24th, like that. Highlight. Make this little. Albany. Let's say 30th of 1st. I don't like that format. 30th of 1st, and anything else on the 24th must be done by the 30th. Okay, Then the 29th, we did that because if you remember, it was the 5th of the 2nd, and that was around the due date of that. Oh, hold control and you'll be able to keep it. And then this one has to be done on the 31st. And what we'll do is, instead of putting that at the bottom, we'll cut this and we're going to put this here. And I'm going to write, because you know, like you got a later due date. So if we kind of look by the due date, you go, all right, I need to do it in this order. Boom, this one, then these, then this one, then these. Even though you can start there, but you know what I mean? Like, we're just going to make absolutely sure. Must complete on the, not 24th, 31st, 31st. Mike Tyson here. And that's it. So we're going to delete this, delete the table. We've sorted that. Get rid of this, clean this up. January / February. So Jason, copy this table, paste it in here. Oh, doesn't look nice. That doesn't look nice. That's better. And we've got a thing. It's looking to work out some dates for the reads. Then these here. That on the January, and for Jonathan, see these dates. And this works, so I need to move things around, and that's it. And so I'm going to schedule that to send tomorrow, so I don't forget. 9:30 in the morning, and we're all set with that. And that's our Queensland ones, all done there. Beautiful, very happy. Yeah, so usually we just send that to Martin. I'll look in the previous sent items and just go, okay, let's make up this. Or if it's not, you can't find it in the sent items, just because Outlook just doesn't work sometimes. If you can't find it in there, just make up your own using that format, something like that, you know. All right. Now, where were we? State. We're on to New South Wales. New South Wales. Oh, sorry, get rid of this grouping. And that's all we need. And we've done 580 George Street. So that's all good. Now, we're going to take the actual reads. Now, okay, we've got a little gap here. Those that have done their homework and watched the previous videos would know that we could not get into Hunter Street this month because it is an office building and it was all closed. So, in fact, we can't copy the previous read date over because it was not read and it will not be read. So the previous read date is still the 1st of December. So we're just going to leave that as is. So that's all the copying that we need to do here. Now we will, let's see. I'm going to break it down again by reader. I just find that much easier. Now William Elliott, he does, only a few of these sites in New South Wales. He's really good. 19th, so 19th Sunday, so day after is the 20th. I'm fine with that. The 25th, which one is this? Ocean Grove, so we'll make that the 24th. And Albury Centre Point is always on the 1st, so February, that would be the 3rd. Boom. William Elliott is done. Jeremy Singleton, the 19th, so we'll make that the 20th. Westfield, the 25th, make that the 24th. That is also the 25th, we'll do the 24th, and that is the 1st, so we will make that the 3rd. Nabil, I don't know why there are two Nabils. I think it's the second one. Oh, bang, on it. Oh, and Nabil is a bit tricky. So Nabil has his own meter reading, his own group of readers. And he'll just kind of schedule them using one of them. His name's Ryan, usually. And maybe he uses another couple of guys, I think. I'm not sure. But most of them are done by Ryan. But because he's always short. And he'll always do them early or not when we need them. But I've already copied this over. So what I tend to do is I kind of schedule them a couple of days early. So this sense we'll do them on the 23rd is fine. 23rd for all these. So yeah, these ones are usually done the week before the end of the month, and I give them a couple of days leeway. West Point and Parramatta are usually done in this last week, so you want them done kind of in the last couple of days, 2 to 3 days. So I'm gonna schedule them for 28th because he tends to run late sometimes. So the 28th there, and then these ones are they must be done. Okay, so Maryland, Shellharbour, Wetherill Park, they have to be done after the 1st because we get interval data for these. No matter what he says, no matter how much he struggles and complains, do not let him do them before the 1st of the month. He will say, oh, you know, I got to schedule around. But if that happens, then just tell him you can do it, but you'll have to go back again and get those interval reads a second time. So I'd almost rather he does it on weekend, to be honest. So we always schedule these for after the 1st. Okay. So that's going to be on the 3rd. Third. I have these on the 2nd, as in you can make them the 2nd day like that, or you can just make them also on the 3rd. Whatever, doesn't really matter which way you want to do it. I'm just going to keep them in order though. But yeah, so these are all set like that. But yeah, the main thing with these ones is these 3, Maryland, Shellharbour, and Wetherill Park, have to be done after the 1st of the month. Alright, that's New South Wales, I'm pretty sure. So now we've done everything except for good old Victoria. Our biggest group of sites, where we have 88. 88. Now, here's what I like to do. I will go into my reader and I will say has none of. And I will put down Alan. I will put down John. And I will put down Tanya. And then I am left with our regional / semi-retired guys. I'll remember, quickly, because I have these guys. I'll go has any of, and then I can see all of them. I'll just copy the actual read date over the previous read date, paste that. Yep. And then I'll change that back from has any to has none of. Okay. And I'll just do the copy and paste here before I forget anything. Just do that. Now, yep. So now we have our semi-retired / City Power, Power Core, other contract guys. This is a small list. It's easier to negotiate because they have work all the time and you can work it into their work. Same with Tanya. Like Tanya could technically be on this list if you want. But I like to put her with John and Alan because sometimes she'll cover John and Alan's work. Also, just Alan's work. I don't think John's ever had a holiday near the end of the month. But we'll get to that. So, schedule dates. Let's go through the 19th. Now, I would put them here, but I would like them to have a little bit. These ones on the 19th, I want them to have a little bit extra time. So I'm going to put them on the 17th. Because you never know what's going to happen. Tony Ainello's on leave, I think. So I'm just going to schedule it for the 17th. And then he's going to do it when he gets back. 25th. I'm going to make the 24th. Again, you can do it one reader at a time if you like. You can filter it by individual reader and do it one at a time. That's also fine. But I'm just going to kind of lump sum this. Chris Constantinidis. Let's see. There's another site he does, I thought. Cirque? No? Yeah, oh, there it is. Yep, sorry. Okay, so I've got these here. So, yep, Cirque and Edge for Chris are done on the 25th. So, you know, the last week of the month. These ones I do within 2 to 3 days of the end of the month. So this will be, in this instance, it'll be 29th exactly. Within 2 to 3 days, because that's how, that is when Energy and Plant Management, EPM, that's when they want their stuff. They want their reads in between the second, within 2 to 3 days either side. And because YMCA Swanson and Collins, so these two are in the CBD, this one's like 1-2 tram stops outside the CBD. So I put these three together. Cobden as well. Cirque and Edge. This is in Footscray. This is in Essendon. So we start them a bit earlier. So you just spread them out. Traralgon, that is always done on the last day of the month. Never had an issue with Brendan. Set and forget. And then the rest are on the first of the month. So they're always done after the first. Like that. Boom. Easy as pie. You think? Yep. After the first. Yep, cool. Perfect. All right. Now, let's change this from a has none of to has any of. And we're just going to make sure that Tanya, I just want to make sure that she's got the right sites. Yep, she's got that. She's got that. Not Monday. It's not Monday because the cafe's closed on Monday. Then we have to go back and get it. Yep. All right, cool. So what we're going to do is we'll just do Tanya's individually. These guys, then I do individually, one after the other. Yep, fix that. So this is the 26th I put. So I'll make this on the 27th. Not the 27th, that's public holiday. 28th. Have I done any of them on the 27th? I don't think so. And then the remaining ones are after the start of the month. So, you know, what I usually do, it depends on how you want to do it. So there are some of these where that they need interval data. So Caribbean needs interval data, Eden Rise needs interval data, Marriott Waters needs interval data. Okay. Because of that, you want these done after the first. Lynbrook, Waverley Gardens, Clyde, Nepean Highway, these ones do not need interval data. So if you wanted to, you could schedule these for the 31st. Because you will be dating at the 31st, as you can see here, you're kind of dating at the 31st. So if you wanted to, you could do that. That's totally fine. But because Tanya's pretty good, she'll do these in like a day and a half. She just rips through them. Just schedule them all for after the first, especially if you're not in a rush. If she's busy though, because she's covering Alan's work or something like that, then maybe you want to move it around and kind of space it out a bit. Also, sometimes, you know, Michael will need her. So it's a bit tricky, especially if that's the case, you know, better to lend Blender. She's really good on the gas. So yeah, that's how I'll schedule that one. Next one we'll do is, I'll do Cooney. Cooney has 22 sites, but it takes him just as long as John to do them. What I will do is I will start at the month turnover day. So Society and Bray Street is pretty much always done on the first day of the month, and everything kind of flows in after that. He can fit Society and Albert Street on the same day, but I don't mind. I just space them out for him. Gives him a bit more work. And then this one, we'll just put that on as the 5th. Maybe we can give him some ad hoc work. These he can start on the 5th. And I kind of space them out based on this. So you kind of group them in the same day. So these ones I'll group on the same day. This is about half a day. That's about half a day. That takes about 15 minutes. And then Upper West Side. So Upper West Side is always the very, very last site we read. You know, because it's the billing date for Upper West Side is somewhere around the 14th or 15th of the month. So even today, the 14th of January, we could have done it today and still been within tolerance, like within a reasonable time for the client asking us for the reads. So I will always space out Upper West Side to the end. So yeah, that's everything after that. From then, we work backwards. Now I think he has leave. I'll just double check his leave. Yep, so he has leave from the, what is it this month? The 17th till he's back on the 28th. So let's have a think. What can we do? Let's work backwards. We'll work backwards. So Essendon Fields, we'll do that. We'll make that 31st. That's a whole day. Essendon Fields is one whole day. DFO South Wharf, he can usually fit in that and City Road on the same day. So that's one whole day right there. 219 Elizabeth is done with Melbourne Central. So it's always done on the same day. So since we did that on 30th, I usually give him 2 days to do Melbourne Central, which is the 28th. Copy, paste, paste, paste. In fact, do you know what? We're going to run out of time, I think. He's not going to have enough time to do all of them. Yeah. The 17th is too early. Now, Melbourne Central is like a day and a half, but I think he can fit that all in on one day. So, because he owes me, let's make that. Do I want? I can space it out. We can delay. Why don't we delay Essendon Fields to the 5th? So we'll make this the 7th. Okay. Then we'll make this the 6th. Society and Albert. They can be done on the same day. But we'll move Essendon Fields to the 5th. And I'm probably going to move these around. I reckon we'll put these on the same day and move this to the 4th. But for now, we'll just we'll do it like this. Okay. And that's not too long after the previous read date as well. So we're not too bad. Now we move these forward. That'll be on the last day. Melbourne Central, I'll push up to here. I do want him to do Dandenong because Dandenong is a bit iffy. And I'll get him to do Dandenong. And I reckon we get John to cover Manor Lake. No, Manor Lakes can be done. Oh, man, even better. Do you know what we're going to do? We're going to move Manor Lakes. Now, Manor Lakes can sometimes be done. I'll just check the billing schedule. So, active utilities, because it's active utilities, Manor Lakes is usually done. She sends us a billing schedule. Manor Lakes is the 14th. Great, that's super late. And because it's interval data, we take the end of month data for it. So, I can probably give him a bit more work, which means I can push that. No, sorry, I can push that to the 10th. Yeah. We'll do Manor Lakes That'll be the 7th. The 7th is fine for these. Manor Lakes would do sixth. Yep, that's good. Oh, Bellato. Oh, actually, I'll forget that for now. And Westfield Knox, I'm going to give that to John. Wait, no, sorry. I don't need to give that to John because he can do Dandenong that same day. Dandenong on the 28th and Knox on the 28th. And then Lakeside. On the 30th. There we go. And that's him. That's him done. Oh, sorry. Wrong 30th. Cool. So, Dandenong, that takes about 5 hours, from 9 till 1 or 2 o'clock. Then he'll do Knox. Melbourne Central, that takes a day and a half. So that's the 29th and a half a day on the 30th. After that, he'll do Lakeside. City Road, Depot, South Wharf, that's a day there. They're all in the same area. Then move over the next month. These two individual days. That gives him half a day either side to he can either do that one then do that one, or I can give him some ad hoc jobs. Essendon Fields on the 5th. Manor Lakes on the 6th. Since some ad hoc jobs, or he can start these. Yeah, do you know what? We'll give him this and all that, because then he can start them on that date, and then this one will probably change anyway. But then that on that day, and then that's it. Cool. 15th. It's always done on the 15th. Those two, easy to forget, and that's it. So there's Alan's done. Now, John. Now, what I need to keep in mind is that between the 20th and the 24th, the 17th and the 24th, he's my only guy. So I would need to space things out maybe a little bit. But again, what we'll do, we start as I always start at the from the first of the month and then move forward. So 3. After that's the 4th. Stockland is the next most urgent one. 5th. So these two are usually a day because it's up in Craigieburn. YMCA Swanson is about 6-7 hours. That's a whole day. Stockland, that's in Ballarat. That's a whole day. Then these are kind of like up for grabs right now. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to push Rosebud back. I'm going to make that the 3. I make that the 3. I'm going to make this the 4. I'm going to explain why. Because I got an email. We had these later, around the 9th or 10th of the month. But now they want us doing Mornington by the 7th. And I give John Mornington because his mum lives in Hastings. And so it's his kind of like second place of residence. So he's well situated to do these reads and go see her down there. So I need to move them from the 9th/10th forward a week before the 7th. Mornington needs to be done before the 7th, and because Mornington is near Rosebud, we're just going to have to pull Rosebud forward as well. So what have I got here? The 5th. So we'll make this the 6th. And then DFO Essendon can be the 7th, which means that there be the 10th. And he'll probably do that and then move on to these. But this just kind of means that when it's put on a schedule, it's in an order. So if I put them all in the same, it might be out of order. But this just puts it in a nice little order. And then I can move them around if I need to. All right, so then let's work backwards. So now everything... Okay. All of these, so South Morang, Epping, Greensborough kind of sites. It says the 28th, but really it should be the 30th. It should be 2 days before the end of the month. Like this. And I'll just leave that as the 27th because it's still in order. Again, these aren't exact when you get near the end of the month. These are not exact. They're kind of like guides for these guys. So you want to keep it kind of near there. But with these ones, I usually I give him 2 days at the end of the month to do them. So I will put them on the 30th in this instance. And that's when he can start them. So he can start them. That's a lot of sites, but over 2 days, he gets them done. Like, he gets them done pretty well. You could even put them on the 31st if you want to, and then when he does Craigieburn, he can do those other ones. But I like to space it out because, you know, we might need to give him ad hoc jobs or something. So before the 30th, we'll look before the 30th, the 29th. Now, the 29th, we've got, sorry, let me just undo that. Turnside Park, East Ridge and the Pines. These ones are kind of, you know, north or east, outer east areas. So we do these on the all as a group. Hampton Park, I think 28th here. Hunt Club, yada yada yada. That's the day before, and then we've got these ones, which we can do on the 20th. But I'm going to do them on the 23rd because I want to give him... I might pull these forward a little bit. You know, there might be ad hoc jobs. So if we have ad hoc jobs, I'm going to yank everything. Actually, no. Well, I'll set them to the 24th, you know, for now. But what could happen is, if he's, you know, doing well ahead of the where he needs to be with his work, I will pull them forward. Like by about a day, maybe a day. You know, it's like he did them on the 21st and they didn't complain, so keep doing it. You know, but it's good to have, you know, maybe you can space it out so you don't necessarily, because like this, the way it is like here, pretty much full days. Like that's probably 3/4 of a day for him. This is full rack. This is probably 3/4. That's a full day. That's a full day. Even though he can drive back through the city and do stuff, that's, well, he's out of action. You know, if you get ad hoc jobs, it's good to have him there. So I can always pull things forward a little bit and just give him some extra work. Now we're going to do, these are going to be on the 20th because the 19th is a Sunday. And yeah, so as you can see, we've got the 20th, 1, 2, 3. I've got 3 spare days of no work for him where I've got to find something for him. So I can always pull that. If I pull things forward a day, you know, it gives me some leeway. I can always give him something. You know, he can help out Jane. He can do some MG can't locate work, you know. But it's good just to have that flexibility. So that looks like, I think, everything. So now if I clear all these filters out and I go down all the way, we shouldn't really have anything. Everything, yep, everything is future dated. And that usually means that we've done a good job. So we're all done with our date changing. The last section we do, our on request ones. Now there's nothing in 6 monthly at this point, but if there is, you just do the same thing as you did before with monthly, bi-monthly, quarterly, etc. On request ones, now this is specifically for Royal Exhibition Building because we read these on set dates. And we have a little schedule that I will show you. This is a schedule for 2025. And you can see that convention, jewelry industry, blah, 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 all the way down to the Australian Quilt Convention. these are all ticked off because they are all entered. Brickvention, is that done? No, that's being done. Previous read. Scheduled for the 20th there. Good. Okay, cool. So yeah, so as you can see, these are all kind of already in there. What we're going to do, we have one past dated one. So that means in the last month, we did one REB read, which is good because this gives us a example to use. So what we do when we refresh it, again, what we would typically do is, you take the, we take the actual read and we put it into our previous read. And then we would change the schedule date, but we do not do that here. Okay, undo that. We leave this for now. What we're going to do, first thing, we look at what is next in our list. Okay, after the quick conversion, we've got one fine baby. So what we're going to do, we can get rid of Melbourne University grads. Can take one fine baby, copy that, paste that there. Then we can see the date is the 6th of May. So we're going to go to 6th of May, put that in there, that to the list. And then instead of taking our previous read, which from our actual read, because these, if you can see, these are all in order. Our schedule date for that one, our previous read is here. For our schedule date in February, the previous read is the one above it. For our scheduled read on the 24th for Melbourne Opera, our previous read is the one on the 3rd, which is the one above it. So with REB, we take our previous read is actually the date above, from the entry above. Okay, so it will be this one in this case, 24th. That way, when the when they do the billing, because they're doing it from, one read to the next, they know that, okay, it was read here, but the last one was done on the 15th. That's when the last one was done. Okay, it was read here. The last one was done on the 7th, et cetera, et cetera. So just with REB specifically, that's when we take that. Okay. Once you've done that, I usually tick this off, and then that's marked. And I think that's all we need to do for that. So yeah, so that's the only difference with REB is change the schedule date, change the name so that it reflects the event, and then the previous read date is the entry above in order, the most recent one before the one you've just entered. Okay. Now, last step. We're going to here. We can see that, still nothing in here. We need to reset the sites. So we go down in our schedule tab, we go to our reset sites list. And basically anything that's in ready to email, if we have ready to email here, that should already be emailed. So we should do that beforehand. If there's anything in the ready to email, you should probably clear that. You can clear that out here. Have data. Now, as you can see, check the reading start date. Oh yeah, sorry, let me go back. That's how we can tell. That's a good check. If the reading start date is before the 10th, then you clear out these 3 columns. If the reading start date is after, like in this one, let's pretend that we had this done like this, for example, it's after the 10th, we leave it, okay, because it's a part of the new list. All right, so because this is before, we can delete that goes out. That is after, so I'll just minimize that. Now our complete ones. Now what we want to do, click on assigned, scroll all the way down to to the bottom of this section and hold shift and click in the bottom right where it says results emailed. These 4 columns you need to delete in this section. So you highlight these and you just go delete. Yes, I want to clear these records. They will turn blue. Then that will kind of reset almost everything. Then what you want to do, have a scroll down here in these dates, because sometimes these get, and what you'll notice is that you'll have anything that didn't have an actual date. You remember last time when we were putting the previous read dates in, there were blanks. You know, Hunter Street was a blank. Sydney Trains was a blank because we didn't have the reads for them. These ones you need to get rid of from the assigned screen. Okay, so you can highlight these and just press delete. Everything else that's kind of in a date within the next week from today's date, as you see it, you can leave these. Basically what assigned means is that Airtable has already emailed out a reminder, and the person has gotten a reminder. So you don't necessarily need to untick it. You can if you want. You're more than welcome to. So if I deleted this, they would just get another email, which is fine. Like, it doesn't make that much of a difference. In fact, you know what? Let's do that. Just to give them like a hurry up. Hey, this has got to be done. But yeah, don't have to. Whatever. So sometimes you'll have notes from last month. You can just clear those out. Clear that out. And pretty much everything should just be there like that. And when you go back into the main schedule, you'll have it looking spick and span like this. And yeah, the only one is here is going to be that one, because you've already sent it out and read it. So that's about it. So yeah, I guess the last thing is a little addendum. The automatic email that gets sent out, you can find it in here up the top. If you go to automations, email schedule sites reminder, basically what it's going to do is set up that each day at 11 a.m. I'm going to change that because I don't want it to, I think 11 a.m. is a bit too late. So I'm going to make it 10 a.m. And click update, and that's going to trigger this because it's set in the on position. It's going to trigger it to, at this time, it's going to find records in a certain table, which is this table. And the way that that table is set up, it's referencing, I think, off the data in here. Reads, and there you go. I think it must be sending off this one. Anything that's in here will be sent. Yeah, anything in here is going to be sent out, and anything in this one as well, it's going to be, a reminder is going to be sent out to this email address. The way that I think it was set up. So if it blah, 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 blah. But basically that's all you kind of need to know for that. This is where it is triggered, just in this section here. And if you want to change the date, so for example, if I did it in the afternoon at 4:30, I was like, I want to get it out at 5. You know, I would scroll down here, click on 5, and update like that. But I can't. So what I'm going to do is make it 10. Update. Current date is in the past. Let's discard that change. I think that should still work. I guess we'll see at 10 a.m. Maybe don't touch this. But yeah. So every day at 10 a.m. it's going to run through, check if a certain set of files are in here, and then do the schedule reminder. And it's the same thing here. I'm going to change that to 10 a.m. Update. Kaboom. And that's it. So that's how you do a new schedule. Everything that you know is within a week, I think, should send a new email out. And yeah, you always just want to kind of double check, you know, triple check, run through it. You know, you got these specific schedules here. I like to send out to John and Alan their truncated ones. John, Alan, Tanya, I will send one out. Chris, I will send one out. I think Matt as well, Matt Ballantyne, I also send one out just to make sure. Yeah, I usually send just a separate email, just to give him an idea of when the dates are going to be, similar to what we did with Martin, with these Southeast Queensland ones. You can also send one to Nabil if you want. I mean, with due dates, just so he knows when he needs to get his stuff together. So, yeah. Anyway, that's about it. Hopefully I didn't leave anything out. And, yeah.